see what has happened to build-your-own salads or grain bowls, the once hot office lunches that are now often and perhaps unfairly derided as slop bowls. Companies like Chipotle Mexican Grill and Sweetgreen built large businesses on bowl-based food. Now they're scrambling to reinvent their offerings. Sweetgreen is introducing wraps, touting a food trend you might remember from the 1990s. Chipotle is speeding up new menu items with a focus on protein-oriented options. But maybe the real problem is just old-fashioned sticker shock. Many chains may be pinching consumers struggling with inflation, making many feel like a slop bowl is an extravagance, not an affordable, healthy meal. I'm Jeff Colvin.
WGNS. Our family at Demas's Restaurant are proud to support local emergency responders who put their lives on the line for our community each and every day. This is Peter Demas, and here is this week's Demas's Emergency Responder of the Week.
Murfreesboro police officer Dustin Nicholson talked a woman off the bridge over I-24 on the Medical Center Parkway. She'd climbed over the railing and was moments before falling. Officer Nicholson spoke to her calmly, trying to ease her panic. When words were no longer enough, he quickly secured her and pulled the woman back to safety. Thank you, Murfreesboro Police Officer Dustin Nicholson.
When you see a firefighter, police officer, paramedic, or telecommunicator going the extra mile, let WGNS know, and we at Demas's Restaurant will salute them as the Emergency Responder of the Week.
This is the CBS Entertainment Report. No Oscar, no problem for Timothée Chalamet.
But I must not die yet.
Not even a week after he was frozen out of the Oscars, we have the brand new teaser trailer out for Dune Part 3. This is the conclusion to the Dune trilogy. It jumps 17 years ahead from Dune Part 2. Timothée is back along with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. That's out December 18th.
That's what you were going to say, that you're Spider-Man.
No. And we'll see Zendaya, too, in the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's due to drop today, with Tom Holland back as your friendly neighborhood spider dude. For CBS Entertainment, I'm Matt Wolf.
Hey, it's CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner Jill Schlesinger. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
SRM Concrete is the largest ready-mix producer in the country, yet is still family-owned and operated. Locally grown, nationally known, SRM delivers unmatched quality and service. You called, we haul. We're SRM Concrete.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at WGNSradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leanna to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Brian Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Welcome in to Rutherford Issues. Here on WGNS, it is the 18th day of March. March Madness. Is it madness? It seems like it, right? We've got lots of hoops going on. I'm going to tell you all about that coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to have a conversation with the Better Business Bureau a bit later on here on the program, too. Check your forecast all straight ahead here on WGNS. Your money news. So, yeah, we've got you covered. Hope you're ready for all of that. Coming up at 11 o'clock after the news, the Rick Burgess Show will take you through the afternoon as well. Glad to have you along for the ride here from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios. It was fun catching up with Chris Jones, who was on with Chip Walters. We'll have that podcast up shortly if you missed part of that show. Very enlightening. Everything that, they kind of went through behind the scenes, but also in front of the scenes, if you will. In front of the scenes with that big ice storm. But MTE gives you this information, and I think this is critical, okay? So if you want to take charge of that energy bill, you need to download the My MTE app. You can track your usage, you can pay bills, report outages from there, you can see the outages, get information sent to you, all at MTE.com or the My MTE app. And be sure that if you've changed your phone number or email, that's how they can communicate things like outages to you. Important updates. So make sure that information is correct. I had been doing the announcements, and I thought, well, I need to check on mine, right? Well, mine was the home phone number that I had set up with when I first moved in, a landline. I haven't had that for 10 years. Maybe that's your case. Put your cell phone number in there. They can communicate with you in situations where that might be needed. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. Appreciate our friends over at MTE and all that they do. Salutes for the day. Let's find that tab. Here we go. Ruth Scruggs is the Slick Pig Barbecue Birthday Club winner. Slick Pig is at 1920 East Main Street here in Murfreesboro. They're open every Tuesday through Saturday with, yes, barbecue and ribs, wings, of course, but homemade desserts that you will want to get your hands on. And, of course, good banana pudding. All homemade. Congratulations, Ruth, and happy birthday. Ruth Scruggs, our birthday club winner. Art Dinkins is the SRM Concrete Good Neighbor of the Day for his tireless work in protecting children. Art Dinkins today getting a free drink of choice from 7 Brew Drive-Thru Coffee in Murfreesboro, Smyrna, or Laverne. Today's Good Neighbor Spotlight is built by SRM Concrete. They're locally grown, nationally known, and they love supporting the neighbors who keep Rutherford County thriving every single day. If you know someone you'd like to send us for Good Neighbor of the Day, text the word neighbor to 615-893-1450 or just head to wgnsradio.com/goodneighbor to get those to us, and we'll take care of it from there.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
The price of diesel surpassed $5 a gallon for the first time in more than 3 years as fuel costs continue to jump because of the war with Iran. According to AAA, diesel reached $5.04 Tuesday, up 26 cents from last week. A gallon of regular unleaded gasoline hit $3.79 Tuesday, up 25 cents from last week. And Amazon customers can now get thousands of products much faster with the company rolling out 1-hour and 3-hour delivery windows. 1-hour delivery comes with an added fee of $19.99 for regular customers. 3-hour delivery also has added fees. I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Well, right now, the Dow down more than 300 points after hot inflation readings and the Fed decision looming. It's down 344 points right now at 46,642. The S&P off 30, 66.85. NASDAQ down 99.9 at 22,237.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
I'm going to send you outside here, the palatial studios of WGNS. 40 degrees, up to 44 now at the Murfreesboro Airport. The Smyrna Airport coming in at 43 degrees as well. So let's go with 43 degrees. We've got cloudy skies. But hopefully that chill is soon to be gone. Let's check on that.
For this afternoon, Brian, we'll see some partial sunshine at times. Can't rule out a chance for some spotty light showers or sprinkle activity. Could even mix with some flurries early on, with high temperatures into the upper 50s. Then for tonight, staying dry, partly cloudy, dropping back to a low of 38. Thursday, recovering to the upper 60s under partly sunny conditions, and that warming trend continuing for Friday up to 76, with lower 80s for highs on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Michael Carroll.
Thanks, Michael, for the update. Let's check on that Rutherford weather radar. Right now, we're looking at the satellite, and yeah, we can see those clouds pretty prevalent here in the county at this point. Let's pull up one of our short-term models here and talk a little bit about any precipitation that we might be getting here in the next few. And the precipitation that this is showing coming in any time now and falling lightly throughout the day. But by the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, should be pushing on out of here. And not expecting any problems. I know Michael mentioned maybe some flurries early on. I think we've already warmed up a little too much for flurries, honestly, at this point. So our longer-term model, once we get our GFS here to load up, shows that quick hitter coming through. And then we push it on as far out as we can go. This is the 24th, which would be next Tuesday. That's going to be our next chance at any precipitation, and none of that looks to be in the frozen variety. But here's the 27th, and this is another storm system on Friday the 27th that I mean, it's a long way away. We're more than a week out, so you can't trust this fully. But this is a signal showing that could be another strong front moving through with some cold air on the backside, kind of like what we had come through on Sunday and over the weekend. So we're going to have to watch that one, but that's our next big chance before even on the 31st at the end of the month. So some drier days ahead, and keeping an eye on a week from this Friday, the 27th. All right? So that's a look at your Rutherford weather forecast and a little look beyond our next few days. Don't forget to check us out on the Rutherford Weather Channel. If you haven't been by, during impactful and severe weather, we'll go live on the channel. We do video updates beforehand, you know, maybe a day or two out, and just kind of set the scene for what's going on. So you'll want to be in the know. And we have now a good way of communicating back and forth with our chat function. So you'll be able to ask some specific questions, and we can get you some answers on that. Worked out pretty well in our last storm outbreak there. Not outbreak, our last storm system that came through, thunderstorms. So we want to be a part of the Rutherford weather community. So help us out. Head to RutherfordWX.com and find your favorite social platform, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Now, live on Facebook and X, yes, on YouTube as well. And I had a lot of people say, you know, we're watching on the phone. You know, you can only make maps so big, right? So we've done a pretty good job of making the towns and the streets as big as possible, but you're watching on your phone, right? Well, a great way to do that is to go on YouTube on your television. And if you have subscribed to the channel, well, you can pull it right up and see when we're live there on Rutherford Weather. So that's a good TV option for you. Much bigger screen, right? RutherfordWX.com is the website. RUCO Weather, R-U-C-O Weather, on all of those social platforms. Be sure to like, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, share with your local friends and family about Rutherford weather.
Listen each weekday morning at 9 o'clock for the Roundtable here on News Radio WGNS. Interesting hosts and guests with the news, views, and people that are shaping Rutherford County. Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
And Rutherford Issues on Big G TV, brought to you by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. Making healthcare easier. From finding a doctor to checking your records, MMC offers everything you need all in one place. Here's a world news check for you. From CBS on WGNS, it's brought to you by Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital.
CBS Radio News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Israel says it's killed the head of Iran's intelligence service. Iran has just confirmed it. The BBC's Sebastian Usher.
It shows the continuing force that Israel in particular is using against leading figures in the Iranian regime. I mean, this is the decapitation strategy continuing at full force. The Israelis have said that this was a man who was deeply steeped in both attacks within and outside Iran.
Germany is the latest U.S. ally to announce it's staying out of the conflict. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt asked this morning about securing the Strait of Hormuz.
Rest assured, there is a plan. They're working on it. We have seen some progress with respect to that. But of course, the president, again, continues to call on our allies to step up and do more.
Top national security officials are facing some tough questions from lawmakers today about the war in Iran. Michael Wallace reports.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard warned Iran has been trying to build missiles that could reach the U.S.
Iran has previously demonstrated space launch and other technology it could use to begin to develop a militarily viable ICBM before 2035.
She said the regime in Iran appears to be intact but largely degraded by Operation Epic Fury. The committee's vice chair, Virginia Democrat Mark Warner, expressed concerns that the intelligence community is not focusing enough on possible foreign interference in the upcoming midterm elections. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Markwayne Mullin is appearing before senators for a Department of Homeland Security confirmation hearing. The Republican Oklahoma senator would replace Kristi Noem. Senator Rand Paul invoked his own painful experiences with political violence before addressing Mullin.
I just wonder if someone who applauds violence against their political opponents is the right person to lead an agency that has struggled to accept limits to the proper use of force.
Paul recounted being attacked in his yard in 2017. He accused Mullin of appearing to condone that violence.
You can either continue to lie or you can correct the record.
For you to say I'm a liar, sir, that's not accurate.
Record heat is continuing in the West. CBS's Carter Evans is in Malibu.
Downtown LA yesterday hit 98 degrees. That is the earliest date on record that the city has hit that mark. And when it gets this hot, people around here get concerned about wildfires. It was just last year that a fire wiped out parts of this community, and intense heat this early raises the stakes.
U.S. wholesale prices came in hotter than expected in February. On Wall Street today, stocks are lower. The Dow Jones Industrial's off 355 points. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth 48 hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Staples presents Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
This message brought to you by the Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Planning Board. Visit recyclerightTN.com for tips, ideas, and locations on where to recycle near you. That's recyclerightTN.com.
Recycle right, it's all on you. Don't be trashy, recycle classy, recycle right, Tennessee.
Go to recyclerightTN.com.
Recycle right, Tennessee.
Hello, this is Emily Messier, and I am a resident at Adams Place Assisted Living. And I came to be here because my husband died, and I live out in Las Casas, and it was too much for me to be taken care of all by myself. The children felt this was a good place for me to be.
This is Terry Deal. Call me at 615-904-9111. Adams Place on Memorial across from Walmart.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's
Here's Steve DeSager.
Venezuela beat Team USA 3-2 in the final of the World Baseball Classic. In the bottom of the eighth, Bryce Harper of the U.S. did hit a two-run homer to tie it, but in the top of the ninth, Eugenio Suarez had an RBI double off Boston losing pitcher Garrett Whitlock, who had allowed a leadoff walk and a stolen base. Venezuela had upset Japan last weekend and then won its semifinal against an Italy team that had been 5-0. In the NBA, Oklahoma City won its ninth straight game, 113-108 at Orlando, 40 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Detroit sent Washington to a 13th straight loss. New York beat Indiana. Pacers have lost 14 straight. In the NCAA tournament's first four, Texas wins on a last-second jumper, 68-66 over NC State. Howard eliminated UMBC 86-83. NHL overtime wins for Minnesota and Montreal.
This is News Radio WGNS, Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the law offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
Well, we've got a lot of high school sports, MTSU sports coming up. The Lady Raiders are playing in the WNIT, and they're awaiting a winner before they play coming up either over the weekend or first of next week. So stay tuned for announcements about that when the Lady Raiders play. And, of course, we've got some baseball coming up this weekend for you, too, and boys state tournament action. So we'll be over at the Murphy Center bright and early in the morning. So around this time, we should be in the second half or so, or wrapping up the Blackman-Whitehaven game. Blackman-Whitehaven. That's coming up on WGNS beginning right after 9:07, somewhere in there. We'll do our pregame. Since there is no roundtable, we'll have a little expanded time with you, and we'll have some conversation about all of the day's activities. Then after a break, we'll come back around 3:45 or so and bring you the Eagleville-Pickett County game. Now, winners on Thursday will play on Friday. Blackman would play around 3:45, and Eagleville would play around, well, they would play around 4 o'clock, and Eagleville would play around 7:15 or so. And then on Saturday, if you win on Thursday, you win on Friday, you play in the championship on Saturday, 4 o'clock for the 4A, and looks like about 6:30 for the single A. So that's what we've got coming up for you sports-wise here on WGNS, AM, FM, online, WGNSradio.com. So be sure to listen to all of the local sports that we've got straight ahead here on WGNS. Right now, it's about 10:30. News from Access Tennessee is straight ahead. Stay with us.
This is a paid legal ad.
My name is Ty, and I was seriously injured by a truck.
It did not cost me a thing to talk to the law office of John Day. Not one penny.
The law office of John Day, they were great. They got us to a point to where we're satisfied and comfortable.
Turn left, they're there. You turn right, they're there. They was just there. And to me, they're the number one. They're the number one in the world.
Injured by a big truck? Trust the law offices of John Day.
They saved my life.
Good Neighbor Talk covers issues you won't hear anywhere else. They're local issues. WGNS, AM, FM, online.
AmeriCare Services Incorporated, family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial customers, we offer a full range of services. Our services include one-time, monthly, and quarterly pest control, termite control, moisture and fungus control, automatic foundation vents, and more. Licensed, insured, and bonded for your protection. 893-7111. AmeriCare Services Incorporated.
Access Tennessee News, I'm Will Dudley. The remains of a man discovered by local hunters in Blount County in 1981 have been identified after an extensive DNA investigation by the TBI and outside laboratories. The man is identified as William Thomas Green. Green was last seen by family members in Knoxville around 1977. Investigators believe Green's remains may have been in the woods for up to 3 years before they were discovered. The TBI says investigators are hoping the public can now provide additional information about Green and help to piece together the events that led to his death. A big leadership change coming to MTSU as Dr. Sidney McPhee, president of Middle Tennessee State University, announces he will retire as the institution's chief executive when his contract ends in December. This marks the first leadership change in more than a quarter century for the university. McPhee told trustees that as a tenured professor, he plans to take a sabbatical to retool and prepare to ultimately return to the faculty in the College of Education. McPhee has overseen more than $2 billion in new construction, renovations, and improvements to the campus.
Let's welcome spring the right way with the 18th annual Blooming Arts Festival in Linden. Save the date because it's coming up soon, March 27th and 28th. You'll enjoy more than 200 art and craft booths along with delicious food and live entertainment. This festival is one of Tennessee's favorite springtime traditions, and we can't wait to see you there. March 27th and 28th in Linden for the Blooming Arts Festival.
A busy downtown Nashville bar damaged by fire Tuesday. It appears Kid Rock's multi-story complex had a small fire on the top floor. Broadway was temporarily blocked near the restaurant, but it has since reopened. Officials say the fire was in the ceiling of the VIP room on the mezzanine next to the front window. It appears a heating element got caught in a piece of insulation, starting that fire. Will Dudley, Access Tennessee News.
When it comes to your child's health, you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
And Rutherford Issues here on WGNS and Big GTV, brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric. Our friends at MTE want to make sure you're in the loop. So head over to MTE.com to update your contact info so that you can get those timely alerts on outages, billing, and more. We're going to get an update from the Better Business Bureau here this morning. Joining us is James Price of the BBB, and we're going to be talking about some consumer resources that you can find from the Better Business Bureau. James, first of all, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you doing?
Doing good. Good to be with you here today. I noticed something when I went on the BBB's website today. I noticed that there's been a logo change. Yeah, there's still a torch of some type, but it's three B's like on top of each other, kind of like 3D-ish. I like it. Yeah, I guess there goes everything that you've got that's BBB. You know, you've got to get all new stuff now. I know. Boy, tell me, don't I know? But one thing that doesn't change, and that's, how you're really there for consumers. And maybe just give me an overview of kind of what is it that the BBB does? Because you have your hand in a lot of things, on the business side to help businesses, but you're also on the consumer side, which we're going to talk about today. But what is it that the BBB does and is all about?
So, first thing we'll start with this one is when a business comes to the BBB to get accredited, what they have to do is they have to commit to our 8 standards of trust. And those 8 standards of trust are to build trust, advertise honestly, tell the truth, be transparent, honor promises, be responsive, safeguard privacy, and embody integrity. We can absolutely, for the first 7 of those, they're very objective. We can tell whether or not a business is doing that or not. The last one, embody integrity, comes down to a subjective thing, whether BBB wants to accredit that business or not. Like some businesses out there, they'll tell you right up front, hey, we're gonna charge you X amount, and it's an excessive amount, but that's what we're going to charge you. So they advertise honestly, but it's not necessarily in the best interest of the consumer or embodying integrity, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's that takes a little investigation. That takes some work, and that's what's done. And then sometimes maybe the information that you have, but it turns out a year or 2 down the road, you find information. I mean, there have been people that go from being accredited to not. They're, that kind of thing. So.
And we are not a pay-to-play organization. You just can't, a business just can't come to us and say, hey, here's my money, I want to get accredited. No, we once they do an application, then we'll do a background check to make sure that there's no outstanding, make sure that they pay their bills, no outstanding lawsuits, that kind of stuff along the way. So we really dig into an application for a business when they want to get accredited. And this is to protect the consumer. It's to protect the business, and it's actually there to protect the good businesses against the not so good businesses. So when you go to BBB and you're looking for somebody to do some kind of work for you, and you want to get some kind of service done, people can rest assured know that we have gone through and we have actually done a background check on these businesses, and businesses get denied all the time for various different reasons. It comes down to these 8 standards of trust.
And then, as we talk about what's there for consumers, it's a place for consumers to be able to go and know businesses they can trust, but it's so much more. We give consumer tips here all the time. We have scam alerts and all of that, where you can report scams, finding businesses. So these are some of the things that we're going to talk about today that are resources for consumers. So where do you want to start with some of these?
So I know we've talked about consumer tips in the past, that people can go to BBB.org and they can look up consumer tips and the different things that we can do for your home, your financial wellness, your tax headquarters, your scam headquarters, cybersecurity. There's just a variety of things on there that people can look up. But a couple that we want to focus on today, and of course you can go on there and you can see the latest news and scam alerts. scam people into paying them money or think that they're going to get a big windfall. There's other scams on here that were reported about. Got a job offer, they were sent a check for expenses, they called the bank, and of course it was fake, and that's an old one. Companies who where they ordered something and they were charged for the shipment, and then when they got it, it never got shipped.
Mm-hmm.
And so the company never answered. And then, we've talked about this before, is, some of these scams in here you can look at where they've gone and bought something, and they've turned around and tried to call their customer service line, and they can't get a hold of anybody. And I think we've said on this show numerous times before, if you're thinking about buying something from somebody, especially if it's an online service or a business you don't know, try to contact their customer service department before you make the purchase. If you can't get a hold of them before you make the purchase, there's a good chance you're not going to be able to get a hold of them after you make the purchase. And to me, that's a really good thing that consumers can do to make sure that they're working with a reputable business. Just one of the ways. There's a lot of different ways that we can do that. So I would encourage everybody to get on BBB.org and just go to scam tracker and just read some of the ones that are out there. You'd be surprised at the number of scams that are out there. And of course, if you've seen where you've been scammed before, or people tried to scam you, put it in there. The one that's hitting the market right now, and I've got a text on this, and several people at BBB have gotten it, was the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah.
Has they're billing you for some kind of violation that you had, and if you don't send in their money or call right now, they're going to suspend your license. And so this is just a follow-up to the one they had last year, where motor vehicle departments would send people notices and said, hey, you didn't pay your toll, and so now you need to pay your toll. There's a fine attached to it, and people they'll just pay it. And so be careful. Those Department of Motor Vehicles is not going to notify you by text.
Right.
No government agency will notify you by text. If they want you, they know where you're at. They'll get a hold of you.
The thing about it is, if I talked last time we were on about the deal that I went through with a Verizon rep who was not. But all they're trying to do is get as much information about you as possible. And, at one point it was, well, can you confirm the last four of your social security number? Well, if they've got four numbers, then all of a sudden later on in the conversation, we need to get your full social security number to get this information. And all the while they're just plucking valuable info out of you. And then all of a sudden you maybe, you've given them, I'm giving them the world.
Yeah, so like they might start off by saying, confirm the last four digits of your social security number. You can say yes, and they'll go, okay, what is it? No, I can confirm it. You tell me what you have, and I'll confirm whether that's correct or not. So when scammers fish for stuff, they have that sneaky little way of saying, well, can you confirm your home address?
Yeah.
And you don't give it to them. You say, okay, well, yeah, I can confirm it. And then you wait for them to give you the address. They go, well, what's your address? No, I can confirm if you have the correct address or not, but I'm not giving it to you. So just kind of watch the way that they word things and the answers you give back. Never give them any information about you or any of your personal information. That's the easiest way for the scammers to just fish out information.
Yeah, and Scam Tracker is if you run across one of those, and I'm sure that you will, go ahead and report that on Scam Tracker. Hopefully you're not taken with any money, but if you are, but I see a lot of them. These are just people reporting scams, and they haven't been scammed out of any money or anything like that, but they're reporting it, and it's good to kind of look at that every now and then just to see what's floating around out there, because you're going to get a call or a text sometime soon. Yeah.
So, yeah, you can put a bad review for people online. You can put a bad review, but, you know, when you see a business that's providing great service, give them a good review. Get online and say, hey, you know, this business took care of me in the time when they said this is what happened. I mean, you might even run into a situation like the car example we had a minute ago where, you know, they did run into a little bit of a situation, but in the end, I think they treated me fair, and I would give this business 5 stars, you know, for how they handled it. So leave a review with businesses, and of course, going back to the get a quote, that can save you so much time. When you need a plumber, you start dialing the phone, you don't know who to call. If you go to BBB.org and you say, hey, I need a plumber, electrician, a roofer, whatever, you don't have to make any more calls. They'll start calling you. You don't have to kind of figure out who you're going to use from there. And BBB's only going to send you people that we background checked who've had committed to these 8 standards of trust. So I highly, highly recommend to get a quote if you need something done around the house, you need your car, you need to go buy something, get a quote.
All from BBB, yeah, 3 Bs, BBB.org. James, as always, good catching up with you. That's James. You have a great day, too. Enjoy these clouds and cold weather. It's going to warm up by the end of the week, though. Looking forward to that. James Price with the Better Business Bureau here with us today. If you missed any part of the conversation, you'll want to go back and check the podcast. It'll be up shortly at WGNSradio.com. That's it for our time today. Until next time, take care out there.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families.